going to have to be a full-blown, I am sorry, I lied, I am a terrible person, tail in between the legs, and that's what we deserve. Everything. And it really was quite horrific because you just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing? Like, they're basically bullying him again.
Welcome to Seal Brush, your go-to for the drama they wish you didn't know. Smash that subscribe button so you never miss a scandal. And trust us, Blake Lively is spiraling.
Why?
Because Candace Owens just hit her with a lawsuit, and not just any lawsuit. This one calls her out for straight-up narcissistic behavior.
It was monstrous what she did, and she's got to pay for it.
Live birth.
It's wild, and it's getting even messier. Now there's buzz about something Candace called live birth content, and Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds, is knee-deep in the chaos. Word is, he tried to strong-arm Hollywood studios, throwing his weight around just to keep Blake in control. But that power move, it completely backfired.
Going to be a lot stronger defamation claims against Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan's weak defense didn't just fail. It blew the whole mess wide open.
I mean, it's just like, it's kind of embarrassing, right?
Now Blake's career is hanging by a thread, her golden image cracking wide open right in front of everyone. She really thought she owned Hollywood, didn't she? Strutting around like the queen bee, flipping that blonde hair like she ran the whole show, like it was some high school drama, and she was the star. But then boom, March 20th, 2025 hits, and everything flips. Candace Owens comes out swinging, done staying quiet, done playing along, and she's rewriting the entire script.
Did it become clear to you that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown? Was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Brian Friedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the text? Or was it right away when the Times wrote?
Right away. I've always had an intuition about her, and I've always had an intuition about Taylor Swift and like the branding of the nice girl stuff. And something just didn't. I went through Justin Baldoni's Instagram and he just seemed.
Not anymore. Some folks saw the warning signs, a few whispers here and there. But the second Candace Owens fired back legally, everything exploded. That's when Blake reportedly lost it, full meltdown mode. Screaming, crying, throwing things, total diva breakdown. Like someone finally told her the spotlight doesn't automatically belong to her.
I knew a bit about her. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of was one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life and you're used to getting whatever it is that you want.
Total chaos. Think about it. Blake spent years building that flawless image. Perfect wife, perfect mom, perfect Hollywood darling. But then Candace walks in, cool and collected, waving a few legal documents, and just like that, the fantasy comes crashing down like a house of cards. And here's the kicker. This isn't just personal drama anymore. Nope. Now it's spilling straight into the heart of the Hollywood money machine.
Kind of had her down to a prototype and said, I'm going to pump the brakes and see what happens. And then when Brian Friedman came back with the facts, they were just undeniable. You know, it was undeniable.
We're talking real damage here. Hundreds of millions at stake, career deals going up in smoke, legal fees stacking sky high, and Hollywood execs scrambling in panic behind closed doors. And at the center of it all, this chaos-fueled showdown. Public trust?
Gone.
All because Blake couldn't rein in the tantrums or stop trying to micromanage every move like she was directing a puppet show. Studios, PR teams, everyone's taking hits just because Princess Blake couldn't handle not getting her way for once.
It's kind of a radical thing to want. And they were arguing that, careers could be ruined. Well, what could be ruined? You might be a little embarrassed, but to ruin a career, there has to be some level of fraud.
And the public? Oh, they're eating this meltdown up. It's like the wildest reality show, raw, unfiltered, and not a single camera crew needed. Blake's fall from grace is unfolding in real time, and no one can look away. Now let's talk about her so-called hero, Ryan Reynolds, or better yet, the guy desperately trying to pull off the ultimate escape act from Blake's legal train wreck.
In terms of how you're presenting yourself to the public and who you are in private.
Then March 2025 rolls around, and what does Ryan do? He files to have himself removed from the lawsuit. His excuse? He's just a loving husband who just happened to be standing nearby while Blake burned everything to the ground. Seriously? This is the same guy who went around calling Justin Baldoni a predator, and now he wants to act like he was just an innocent bystander? Please.
So this filing to dismiss is essentially him saying like, nah, 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 boo boo on the defamation claim. You can't touch me because it's satire.
Ryan Reynolds did call Justin Baldoni a predator, whispering it like juicy gossip over wine and golf swings at some exclusive club. And then he tried to pass it off like, oh, that's just my protected opinion. Just satire. Just hurt feelings, that's all. Yeah, right. Ryan actually tried to play it off like calling someone a predator at a Deadpool premiere was just harmless humor. Light joke? Not even close.
And Reynolds did call Justin Baldoni.
Come on, man. The judge didn't buy it for a second. One look at that flimsy excuse, and it got tossed out faster than one of Ryan's worn-out promo skits. When you're dealing with serious claims like extortion, false light, and interference with actual receipts, the court isn't exactly in the mood to let you stroll out clean.
There's 5 other claims. He's got extortion. He's got false light, and everything immediately falls apart there. But I'm saying even that was ill-advisable. I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying like they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit.
They've got him dead to rights on the extortion angle. And his defense? Pathetic. He's basically saying, well, I didn't get paid, like that somehow clears his name. Newsflash. Extortion isn't just about collecting cash. It's about making threats, and in this case, threatening to go public with sexual harassment claims so his wife could take control of the film, a movie he just so happened to write scenes for. Yeah, not a great look.
Got you on this extortion. His argument is so weak. He's basically saying, well, I didn't receive any money. And it's like, buddy, extortion is a lot bigger than that. You made threats to go public with sexual harassment claims so that your wife could take over the movie, which you wrote scenes.
But here's where it gets even juicier. Those so-called private texts. Yep, Ryan's conversations with Hugh Jackman are out in the open now, and they're definitely not doing him any favors. Word is, those messages are packed with shady remarks, and now people are asking the real question. Just how often was Ryan slinging accusations about Baldoni off camera too?
Be a lot stronger defamation claims against Ryan Reynolds, because could you imagine the text messages between him and Hugh Jackman as they're putting together all of these scenes? I mean, it's going to get crazy.
And Brian Fredman? Oh, he didn't just show up. He came in swinging full force. No hesitation, no sugarcoating. He flat out named Ryan as a major player in the takedown attempt on Val's career. And the best part? He had the receipts to back it all up, waving them around like he was hosting a courtroom roast, dropping proof like punchlines and leaving no room for denial.
They're all going to have to pay for the associated inconveniences, the travel, the lawyers, if Hugh Jackman, anyone getting deposed who's got to make arrangements for it if they have to get their own lawyers or whatever it is. And here's Ryan. Should be looking out for them and not himself.
But let's shift the spotlight back where it belongs, on the true star of this meltdown. Blake Lively, Hollywood's most polished, pampered diva. Candace Owens didn't hold back, not even a little. No filters, no fluff, just pure takedown. She broke Blake down piece by piece and called her exactly what she is. According to Candace, Blake's been spoon-fed privilege from the jump. Cushy life. Glittering career, elite connections, the whole Hollywood fantasy served on a silver platter. And yet somehow, that still wasn't enough. Instead of being grateful, Blake allegedly created chaos just to feel powerful, feeding her insecurities by manufacturing drama. And it didn't stop there. Candace claimed Blake didn't just throw tantrums in private. She built entire behind-the-scenes campaigns to destroy other people's careers simply because she felt threatened.
Without question, I really do think she's just a spoiled brat. Like, it just goes down to something that simple. She's a spoiled brat, and she's used to getting what she wants from the time that she was a kid. And this is what she wanted. And I do think that people have not.
That's not ambition. That's destruction. And Candace Owens didn't hold back saying it. She called Blake out as the type who stirs up chaos just to stay in the spotlight. When it came to the media, Blake didn't just use it. She weaponized it. Remember that flashy New York Times expose she pushed? Candace said it was nothing more than a nuclear stunt, crafted to distort the truth, cut key context, and throw Justin Baldoni under the bus while she sat back and watched the fallout unfold. Owen saw straight through the fake sweet girl act and exposed the narcissism, the obsession with control, and the need to dominate every room she walked into. And she made one thing crystal clear. Blake shouldn't just face public backlash. She needs to face real consequences, both legally and publicly, for every ounce of the damage she caused.
And Blake Lively were deluded enough to believe that it was inorganic traffic online. Like this, there's no way people don't like us. We're so wonderful. We're so amazing. We're so hot. We're so pretty. Our friends are rich. We know Taylor Swift. The world loves us.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how satisfying it is to finally watch someone stand up to Blake's mess? For years, she's been hiding behind flawless red carpet smiles, designer dresses, and those overly rehearsed interviews, all while quietly pulling strings and wrecking careers like some behind-the-scenes power boss. But then Candace Owens showed up and she didn't come to play. She came with receipts, legal firepower, and a fearless attitude that scorched Blake so badly, even her PR team probably needed a breather. No more hiding behind the Hollywood sweetheart act. Candace cut through the glitter and called it for what it is. Blake isn't some misunderstood artist trying to survive in a tough industry. She's a manipulative, entitled operator who thought the rules never applied to her.
Everything is falling down for you guys because people perceive you as bullies. And you're essentially saying like a bully argument, which is, so what? Big deal. Sorry, your feelings are hurt, but this isn't a rise to an actual claim.
And now look at her, sitting front and center in the courtroom circus she built herself. Lawsuits piling up, Hollywood turning its back, and the public finally seeing past all that glitter and fake charm. That meltdown Blake threw? Just the final flourish on a disaster years in the making. Because when Candace Owens stepped in, she didn't just poke holes in Blake's story, she burned the whole fake fairy tale to the ground. Watching Blake squirm now that she's facing real heat? It's the most compelling drama Hollywood's delivered in a long time.
Skinned outrage, essentially, over us bullying you. That doesn't make you look good on paper. It doesn't make you look good in the court of public opinion. It makes you look like what you actually are, which are a bunch of bullies who think can get away with everything.
Let's not pretend Blake was some innocent bystander in all of this. She wasn't caught in the crossfire. She was the one pulling every string from the shadows. The leaks, the insider tips, the whispered conversations behind closed doors, they all trace back to Blake as the mastermind behind both the lawsuit chaos and the brutal smear campaign that came with it. Let's be honest, Ryan Reynolds didn't just roll out of bed one day and decide to torch Justin Baldoni's career for fun. That didn't come out of nowhere. Blake had him locked in with her marionette strings, yanking hard, and dragging him headfirst into her personal vendetta.
I think of this guy, Sklenar, like Brandon Sklenar. What a miserable guy. I cannot stop focusing on him because...
Ryan's tough guy act? Yeah, that wasn't him. Not even a little. Word from insiders is that Blake was pulling the strings the whole time, telling him exactly how to walk, talk, and throw his weight around. She didn't want him to look powerful. She wanted full control. No more hiding in the background. She wanted Ryan on the front lines, doing the dirty work loud and proud. And guess what? He followed her orders to a T, like the obedient little soldier she molded. Remember that wild meeting on January 20th, 2024, in the penthouse? Felt like something out of a gangster movie. Blake didn't just tag along. She chose Ryan to be the loud, aggressive mouthpiece. Ryan Reynolds, known for being the funny guy, suddenly went ballistic on Justin Baldoni, screaming like a man possessed while Blake sat back, calm and satisfied, watching the whole thing go down like she'd scripted it herself. Then there's her so-called masterpiece, that insane list of demands she dumped on Sony. She didn't walk into those meetings to talk. She barged in, threatening to tank entire productions if every item on her list wasn't met. It wasn't negotiation. It was domination. Sony execs probably needed therapy after surviving the chaos she brought into those rooms, and when those 170 pages of receipts dropped, game over. The sweet, polished image was gone. What the world saw was a power-hungry control freak who manipulated everyone like pawns. And it didn't stop at Ryan. She took that petty war straight to the sets, the studios, the crews. Anyone who didn't fall in line got crushed. Welcome to the extortion phase of this Hollywood mess. Sony made it clear. Blake and Ryan's legal team flat out threatened to abandon filming, knowing full well it would cost millions. This wasn't some indie shoot. These were massive productions with tight schedules and high stakes, ironclad contracts, full crews relying on precision. None of that mattered to Blake. She turned the entire operation into her personal power trip. Emails spilled the truth. Blake was demanding directorial authority, like she was Spielberg reincarnated. She pushed Justin Baldoni out like he was in her way, sidelined composer Brian Tyler like a nobody. And the worst part? She likely didn't even blink doing it. Then came the texts, fiery, brutal, and sharp as a blade. Blake tore into anyone who didn't fall in line, no mercy. And somehow, even Taylor Swift got dragged into the mess. Whether Taylor approved or not, Blake used her name to amplify her own leverage, tossing her friend into the storm without warning. Candace Owens didn't hold back. She exposed everything, calling it what it really was, not negotiating, but extorting. Blake allegedly threatened to launch sexual harassment claims unless studios caved to her every demand. That's not assertiveness, that's blackmail. Owens spelled it out, a full-blown hostage scenario, no sugarcoating. Brian Fredman brought receipts, backing every word. He revealed how Blake twisted arms behind the scenes with threats, manipulation, and cold-blooded intimidation. Studios weren't running the show, Blake was. She strutted around like she was Hollywood's crowned queenpin, steamrolling anyone in her way. But it didn't stop there. Her PR machine, the one she built with care for years, came crashing down. Candace Owens ripped the mask clean off. Blake wasn't just working behind the curtain. She was waging a dirty media war, using classic propaganda tactics to control the narrative. This wasn't just gossip. It was strategic, manipulative, and dangerous. Outlets like the New York Times and Glamour fell right into line, publishing glossy pieces defending Blake like she was some victimized angel. But Owens wasn't fooled. She came at them swinging, calling those magazines out as Hollywood's favorite gaslighting tools, propping up a false narrative while real careers burned behind the scenes, and Owens kept going. She started drawing connections, linking Blake's behavior to propaganda tactics from old-school psyops, manipulation designed to build a fake reality and control public opinion. People began waking up. This wasn't a tabloid feud. It was a masterclass in how elite celebrities weaponize the media. Blake really believed she could keep flashing smiles for the camera while orchestrating chaos behind closed doors. But now, the curtain's wide open, and the whole world is watching. Owens didn't just turn on the lights. She dragged every skeleton Blake had into the spotlight. All the buried moves, every underhanded trick, out in the open now. And this goes beyond one actress's fall from grace. Owens revealed a system rigged to protect her. Blake, once Hollywood's sweetheart, was now the mastermind of manipulation, the queen of control, using legal threats and media gaslighting like tools at her belt, and people? They're stunned, watching her empire fall apart under the weight of her lies. That's the twist no one expected. But let's be real, everyone's glued to it. Then there's Ryan Reynolds. He tried to play the victim card like he wasn't complicit. His legal team waltzed into court, pretending calling Justin Baldoni a predator was some harmless satire. Really? Since when did false accusations become punchlines at red carpets? Ryan's team spun it like everyone was just too sensitive, as if dragging a man's name through the mud was a misunderstood joke. The court wasn't buying it. Neither was the public. People lit him up. No one was fooled. This wasn't edgy comedy. It was bullying with a Deadpool smile slapped on top. And Candace Owens? She went after him too. She tore into that whole act, exposing how Ryan constantly writes himself into flamboyant skits and quirky talk show bits not for laughs, but to feed his ego and maintain control. This wasn't comedy, she argued. It was performance dominance. Plain and simple, it was all a calculated jab, Ryan throwing shade at Baldoni while hiding behind punchlines. But here's the twist. When you've got text receipts, public comments, behind-the-scenes scripts, and actual witnesses confirming you helped craft a smear campaign, the Deadpool mask doesn't protect you anymore. Ryan's whole legal defense crumbled in court. That wide-eyed, supportive husband routine? Gone. The truth hit hard. He wasn't just involved, he was the architect. Plotting scenes, pressuring execs, leaving his mark on the chaos like a signature. And Candace Owens? She didn't stop with just exposing the courtroom disaster. She dropped a not-so-subtle hint that Ryan may already be planning an escape route, not just from the lawsuit, but from the marriage itself. Imagine risking your career, your image, and your relationship just to play Blake's Hollywood hitman. And now the court's making it clear, you're stuck. No exits, no clean getaways. Brutal doesn't even scratch the surface. But that legal storm? It's only one piece of the disaster. What's crashing down on Blake in the public eye is a full-on social apocalypse, the kind you can't PR spin your way out of. No umbrella big enough for this fallout. The glam, ride or die celebrity circle she used to flaunt like awards. Vanishing. Sources say names like Bradley Cooper, Hugh Jackman, and Sean Levy are keeping their distance. No more glossy brunch photos, no squad selfies, just silence. No one wants to be buried under the rubble of her crumbling empire. Even Taylor Swift, Blake's favorite flex, her go-to name drop, is staying silent. Dodging subpoenas, ghosting. The chaos, making it clear she wants out. And who could blame her? Blake's been using Taylor's name like a shield in meetings, trying to pressure people with the illusion of backing. But now that the truth is exploding, Taylor's done. That loyalty? It vanishes when the fire starts. And the studios? They're hurting. Sony probably wishes they never picked up Blake's calls. After bending over backwards, rewriting scripts, firing staff, reshaping projects to please her, what did they get? Millions lost in reshoots, towering legal bills, and a PR nightmare that just keeps spinning. Candace Owens didn't skip this part either. She shined a light on the envy fueling Blake's chaos, even hinting at how deep the resentment ran, especially towards Scarlett Johansson. This wasn't just lawsuits and drama, it was grudges and ego trips. Word is, Blake got so rattled by Scarlett's directorial success, she couldn't handle the spotlight shifting. So what did she do? Hijacked creative control of It Ends With Us just to outshine her. That's right, tantrums, ultimatums, and power plays, all to one-up Scarlett. All that just to feel like she was still queen of the hill. But here's the truth. Jealousy isn't a strategy, and it definitely isn't a business model.